In the beginning of the drama, our male lead, Gien is a rich CEO, but he is very afraid of love and physical touch. Right at the beginning, a girl confesses her love to him. Suddenly, Jien's hand starts trembling, and he remembers a painful moment from his childhood. His mother was returning home after arguing with her husband when she met with an accident. In that accident, Jien's legs were badly injured, and he lost a lot of blood. This trauma becomes the reason for his fear of love. Coming out of this memory, Gien gets ready to go to the office. His assistant tells him that he completed all the data of the game Legend of the Hero overnight. Because of this, many companies want to work with them. However, the UA company has not responded yet. Gien tells his assistant to contact UA. Now our female lead, Leanne, enters the story. Leanne is a talented but very unlucky comic and animation artist. She has recently graduated, and her dream is to join her favorite company, J&K, and create her own game. But today turns out to be a very bad day for her. Her friend Fong is waiting for her at the interview location and calls her to come quickly. While running in a hurry, Leanne bumps into a man. While trying to save herself, she falls, and her phone drops into a drain. As if that wasn't enough, a car speeds past and splashes water on her, completely ruining her project. That car belongs to none other than Gien, who is traveling with his assistant. Both of them leave without noticing Leanne. After reaching the office, Gien orders the interview to begin. On the other side, Leanne somehow reaches the building, and seeing her condition, Fong panics. She tells her that the interview started 10 minutes ago. Leanne quickly cleans herself and runs toward the interview room, but she gets late by just 5 seconds. A staff member tells her that the boss is very strict and does not tolerate even a second of delay, so she has been rejected. Heartbroken, Leanne comes out and tells Fong that working at J&K was her dream, but her luck is always against her. While leaving, Leanne notices the same car that splashed water on her. In anger, she goes to kick the car, but her shoe flies off and lands right in front of Gien, who is passing by. Instead of apologizing, Leanne angrily threatens him, saying she will call the police. Fong steps in, apologizes, and tells her that this is their boss, Gien. Hearing this, Leanne is shocked and embarrassed. But to everyone's surprise, Gien gives her another chance and asks for a re-interview. During the interview, Gien looks at her file and says that despite having a degree in animation, she has never completed a single project. He asks why she even came here. Leanne honestly explains that although she lacks experience, she truly loves games and comics. Instead of focusing on internships, she focused on learning, and due to some reasons, she couldn't complete her final project. When Gien asks her to show her project, Leanne opens her bag and sees that her project is completely ruined. She explains that it was an accident, but Gien sternly says that if she really wanted this job, she would neither be late nor let her project get damaged. According to him, in his company, discipline is just as important as talent. He says that Leanne is not fit for the job and ends the interview. With a broken heart, Leanne walks along the road. Just then, she gets a call from her mother. Her mother asks about the interview, but Leanne doesn't say anything and starts crying. Her mother advises her to get married so that her husband can take care of her. After a while, her father says that if she needs money, she should tell them, as they have saved some for her. At night, Leanne sits alone in a restaurant, thinking about her life. Then a strange man comes and starts criticizing Gien's company. In anger, Leanne also vents out all her frustration. Orange juice is served to both of them. The man greedily looks at Leanne's juice. Seeing this, Leanne gives him her juice. In return, the man gives her a strange pair of glasses and says that wearing them will change her luck. The next day, Leanne gets a call from her brother, who threatens that if she doesn't pick him up within 1 hour, he will block her account. In a hurry, Leanne grabs those glasses and leaves. On the way, she puts on the glasses and immediately feels something strange. She starts seeing something different around people, especially around women. Shocked, she takes out the letter that came with the glasses and starts reading it. With the help of these special glasses, Leanne can now see the color of people's aura. It is said that by following these auras, a person can reach their true love. Whenever Leanne sees someone with a golden aura, she just has to touch them, and her luck can change. At first, Leanne thinks all this is a joke, but then she sees Gien outside a hotel, glowing completely in a golden aura. Gien goes inside the hotel for a meeting, and Leanne starts following him. During this, she accidentally knocks over a flower vase. Gien notices her, comes over and scolds her. He says that even during the interview she was hesitant and not honest about her dream. He accuses her of blaming her failures on luck and running away from responsibility. Inside the hotel, Jien has a meeting with the technical director of the UA company. The director clearly states that if both companies want to work together, Jien will have to give all his company's copyrights to Gold. They also admit that their company is in trouble and that Jien's old competitor is also interested in working with them. If that happens, Jien's brand image could be damaged. In response, Jien confidently says that even if he works alone, he is more powerful than 100 companies like theirs, and he leaves the meeting. On the other side, Leanne with her brother Yoon, she calls him and tells him to come to the same place quickly because she wants to take revenge. On the other hand, Gien tells his assistant that Yue never wanted to collaborate in the first place. Instead, they wanted to take over his company. That is why he rejected their offer. Now he is sure that Yue will try to harm him by teaming up with his competitor. He tells his assistant that they must start new projects immediately and moves toward the elevator. Just then, Leanne appears in front of him again. Angrily, she says that the interview time was 10 a.m., but he started it 5 minutes early, which is why she got late. As Leanne comes closer to him, Gien becomes nervous and starts calling his assistant. In a playful manner, Leanne scares him. She sticks a sticky note on his cheek and walks away confidently. When the assistant arrives, he says that it was just a sticky note and that she didn't even touch him. This makes Gien even more irritated. On the way home, Leanne asks her brother Yoon that their mother had said he got a job in Shanghai. So why is he here? Yoon tells her the truth, that he lost his job, but didn't tell their mother. For now, Leanne is his only support. Leanne clearly tells him that she can provide him food, but not a place to stay, because she is already sharing her room with someone else. After a lot of pleading, she allows him to stay for a short time, but puts a condition that he must leave as soon as he finds his own flat. On the other side, Gien angrily starts thinking about his past. Since childhood, he has had a strange problem. Whenever a woman touches him, his face turns red and he starts having trouble breathing. Meanwhile, Leanne also keeps thinking about Gien while lying on her bed and eventually falls asleep in frustration. The next morning, as soon as Leanne wakes up, she starts dancing happily. Just then, the doorbell rings. Seeing the landlord at the door, she panics and immediately closes it. She thinks that maybe he has come to collect rent or inspect the room. She quickly cleans the room and then opens the door again. The landlord comes in, feels happy seeing the cleanliness, and tells her that the maintenance fee will not increase this year, and if she continues to live like this, she will get the flat next year as well. After some time, Leanne is walking on the road with her phone screen cracked. Suddenly, she receives a message saying that her mobile game project has been accepted. She is shocked and thinks that until yesterday her luck was bad. Did everything change after meeting Gien? She puts on the glasses and calls her friend Fong, telling her everything. But Fong doesn't believe her and tells her to delete such useless app. Meanwhile, Fong receives a call from her boss, who asks whether the cleaning for the president's office has been arranged. Fong realizes that she forgot about it. The boss warns her that if the office is not cleaned today, the entire department could get into trouble. Panicking, Fong searches through the files for the cleaner's number, but can't find it. Just then, Leanne calls her, and Fong runs to meet her. Crying, she begs Leanne to become a cleaner just for today. After a lot of requests, Leanne agrees. She wears the cleaner's uniform and reaches the office. While cleaning, Leanne is emptying the vacuum cleaner. During this time, Fong calls the cleaning agency and asks whether they sent a male cleaner or a female one. The agency avoids the question and says, "What difference does it make?" The boss overhears this and says that women are not allowed to enter the president's office, and that this could cause a big problem. After some time, Gien arrives at the office. Hearing his voice, Leanne gets scared and hides under the desk. Gien comes in, picks up some trash, throws it away, and then sits at the same desk, without knowing that Leanne is hiding right below. A little later, Yoon also appears in the office. Leanne sees him from under the desk and wonders how he got a job in such a big company. Supervisor praises Yoon. Yoon notices some movement under the desk, but ignores it and walks away. Hiding under the desk, Leanne again sees Jien's golden aura and tries to touch him. Just then, Gien suddenly stands up. Leanne also gets up, slips, and falls straight onto Gien. At the same time, Fong enters and bumps into Yoon, but he holds her in time. Gien, terrified, steps back and shouts, asking what she is doing in his office, how long she has been hiding there, and why she came disguised as a cleaner. He is not ready to listen to anything. He calls his assistant, orders him to lock her in the office, and then faints on the spot. Jien is taken to the hospital. The doctor says that he is completely fine and that his allergy has now fully disappeared. Hearing this, Jien is shocked. He remembers his past when his father asked him to take over the family business. Jien felt that he couldn't manage his father's business because his entire focus was on his mobile game company. He clearly refused his father's offer, and a huge argument broke out between them. At that moment, Jien's stepmother enters the room and calmly says that they should talk with love and understanding. But as soon as Jien sees her, he angrily says, "What is this woman doing in my house?" His father gets even angrier and shouts that she is his mother and that he shouldn't talk like that. But Jien doesn't back down. He says that his mother died 15 years ago and that this woman can never be his mother. She is only his father's wife. Stepmother holds his hand and asks if he is okay. Jien's allergy gets triggered. He jerks his hand away and shouts, "Don't touch me. Stay away from me." After this, the scene cuts, and we see Jien in a hospital ward. The doctors tell him that they can prescribe medicine, but this illness is not physical. It is psychological. Everything is in his mind. The doctor gives him a psychotherapist's card and advises him to talk to a professional. On the other hand, in the office, Fong tells Leanne everything over a video call. She tells her everything. Leanne gets nervous and thinks that she should run away before Jien arrives, but she is stuck on the 25th floor. When Jien returns to the office, Leanne is quietly making sketches at her desk. But as soon as she sees him, she keeps her distance. Jien angrily sits down on his chair. Just then, Fong steps forward, apologizes, and says that the entire mess happened because of her. She explains that the cleaner's number was lost, and due to lack of time, she called Leanne. She even says that if needed, she will resign. But before that, Leanne takes all the blame on herself and says that she had to come to Beijing, so she herself requested Fong. Later, both of them leave the office. Fong thanks Leanne and goes back to work. After reaching home, Leanne asks her brother Yoon how it felt hiding under the office desk today. He starts laughing, but Leanne playfully hits him and says that he didn't help her at all and instead made fun of her. Then she clearly tells him that her friend is returning tomorrow, so he can no longer stay there. Meanwhile, Jien's assistant tells him something about the interview day. He says that while passing through the mud that day, Jien didn't apply the brakes, because of which a girl's clothes got ruined. She slipped and fell, and while falling, her earphones fell onto her project and broke it. Hearing this, Jien is shocked and asks why he wasn't told earlier. The assistant explains that at that time, Jien was so angry that he couldn't say anything. What surprises Jien even more is that Leanne never even mentioned this incident. She took responsibility for a mistake that wasn't even hers. Jien starts thinking that the girl is actually very well-mannered, just a little unlucky. Then he shakes off the thought and says that this bad luck stuff is nonsense. After taking a shower, when Jien comes out, he sees a sticky note on the mirror. It is from Leanne, and his assistant had put it there. Seeing it, he starts thinking about Leanne again. He calls the psychotherapist and asks about his condition. The doctor calmly says that if he didn't get an allergy reaction by touching that girl, then spending more time with her might completely cure his problem. Cut to a street scene. Leanne is outside a shop doing odd jobs, turning signboards. Jien's car stops nearby. As usual, Leanne's luck is bad. She messes something up and the shopkeeper scolds her. Just then, it starts raining. Jien comes toward her holding an umbrella. Leanne tries to come under the umbrella, but Jien slightly moves aside and she gets drenched. Just when she feels disappointed, the rain suddenly stops. She looks up at the sky and thinks that maybe her luck really is changing. Just then, Jien asks her for his pen that he had borrowed from her at the office. Leanne checks her pocket and finds the pen, but it is broken. She immediately apologizes and offers to pay for it. With a faint smile, Jien says that the pen is expensive and she cannot afford it. So in return, she will have to work at JD. He tells her to come to the office the next day. The next day, at Leanne's home, Yoon accidentally steps on Leanne's lipstick and sits on the sofa. Then Fong enters, and Yoon quickly hides in the bathroom. Hearing the noise, Fong goes to check, but Yoon quietly slips out from behind the door. Meanwhile, Leanne arrives and asks the receptionist where Fong is, only to find out that she is on leave today. Leanne panics, thinking that if Fong is not here and her brother is inside, then what will happen? Just then, Jien's assistant arrives, and the receptionist gets scared. The assistant immediately sends Leanne to Jien's office. There, Jien tells her that she will again work like a cleaner and leave. At the front desk, the assistant forces the receptionist to step outside, and taking advantage of that moment, he quietly escapes. On the other side, Fong is getting ready to go to the hospital. As soon as she enters her room, Yoon, who is hiding under the bed, tries not to make a sound. But Fong sprays something in the room, and his eyes start burning, making him scream. Meanwhile, Jien's assistant Jien asks Ming why is she working as a receptionist after returning from America and whether her parents know about it. Ming says that she came back only for him so that she could see his face every day and that her parents don't know anything. Enraged, he starts booking her ticket back to America, but Ming says that she doesn't want to go because she loves him. Shocked, he drops his phone. Meanwhile, Jien receives a call from the boss of Fix Young Investment, who invites him for a meeting. Jien also calls Yoon and asks him to come along. In the elevator, Jien and Leanne suddenly bumped into each other. Jien asks what she is doing here. Leanne replies that she came to take something from him. Saying this, she suddenly grabs his hand. Jien panics, and at that moment, the elevator doors open. The employees standing outside look at them strangely. Both of them feel extremely embarrassed and quietly step out. Leanne apologizes and leaves, thinking to herself, why do such strange things always happen to me? Am I really this unlucky? While walking, she sees Yoon badly injured. Leanne runs to him and asks who did this to him. Yoon says that Fong came back to the room and beat him up. Saying this, he limps away. On the other side, in the car, Jien and Ming are talking about their upcoming deal. If they get this investment, their marketing will grow very fast. But if their competitor, who has now teamed up with UA, gets ahead, their company could be in trouble. Still, Jien remains calm and says that they will face whatever happens. Cut to Leanne, who receives a call from her mother. Her mother tells her that she has fixed a date for her. Leanne tries to refuse, but due to her mother's insistence, she has to agree. Coincidentally, Jien is also waiting outside for his date. Just then, Jien comes running and brings bad news. They had no idea about it. Hearing this, Jien is shocked. At the same time, his father arrives there, sits him down, threatens him, and accuses him of ruining the entire investment he sank it and gave the competitors a chance. As punishment, he dumps all his company's pending projects onto Jien and says, complete these, and the profit will go to my company. Jien clearly refuses. Then his father, in a cold tone, says that if he won't handle the business, then at least cure his illness this year and get married. Saying this, he leaves. Jien feels broken and once again starts thinking about his old accident. On the other side, after being rejected, Leanne tries to distract herself by doing strange makeup. She puts on her old school uniform and goes on the date. When she reaches there, she realizes that the person sitting in front of her is none other than Jien. Shocked, she starts to leave, but Jien stops her and suddenly asks, will you marry me? Leanne is stunned. Then Jien explains that he only needs a pretend girlfriend so that he can introduce her to his parents. Leanne first refuses, but when Jien talks about increasing her salary 8 times, she immediately agrees. Jien lays down the rules that from now on she has to live with him, and he will also send the advance payment. While leaving, Leanne thinks about why such a perfect man needs a fake girlfriend. At first glance, anyone would fall for him. After returning home, Leanne sees Yoon and Fong partying. During the fun, Leanne notices Jing's photo on Ming's phone and asks who is he. Ming tells her that Jin was her college senior and also her crush. He is also Jien's friend, and together they founded J&D. During the conversation, Leanne also reveals that she is now Jien's fake girlfriend. The next day, Jien's stepmother is busy looking for a girl for him, but his father stops her and says that he already has a girlfriend. Meanwhile, the doctor calls Jien and says that if he is not getting an allergic reaction from this girl, then he should try to deepen the relationship with her. Maybe his illness will get cured. Meanwhile, messages from relatives start coming in. Everyone wants to meet his girlfriend. Leanne is sleeping when she gets a call from her mother, who scolds her for missing the date. Leanne panics. Just then, Jien calls her and says that work starts from today, and if she is late, her salary will be deducted. Leanne hurriedly gets ready and leaves. Before reaching Jien's house, one of his aunts arrives and asks where the girlfriend is. Just then, Leanne enters. Jien confidently holds her hand and says, "This is my girlfriend." One by one, more aunts arrive and start asking strange questions, like when was their first kiss. In an attempt to be the perfect girlfriend, Leanne starts feeding Jien carrots. The aunt says that he doesn't even eat carrot, but Jien swallows it to save the situation. In return, he feeds Leanne a bitter vegetable. While drinking milk, some milk gets on Jien's lips. Leanne gestures to him, but when he doesn't understand, she steps forward and wipes it herself. Night falls. A tired Leanne asks how many more relatives she has to meet. Jien casually says that he also has elder sibling. Leanne panics and says that she can't stay the night because she'll miss the last bus. Jien reminds her that she signed a 24-hour work contract, but Leanne runs off to catch the bus. On the other side, Yoon finishes his dubbing work and quietly comes to Leanne's room to take his bag. Fong hears a sound and enters with a racket. Yoon gets caught and Fong screams. Leanne runs in, but now the truth can't be hidden. Fong makes both of them sit down and starts questioning them. Leanne finally tells the whole truth. Angrily, she says, "He is my younger brother. He has no place to stay, so I was hiding him here." Hearing this, Fong becomes furious and shouts, "Our friendship ends here. Both of you get out of this house right now." But Leanne doesn't back down either. She scolds Fong, saying that she is overreacting for no reason. Just then, Yoon steps forward. Without saying much, he takes out all the money he earned from dubbing and puts it into Fong's hand, saying, "Consider this the rent." Saying this, he walks out. Outside, Yoon becomes sad. He mutters that in trying to act like a hero, he gave away all his money. Now he doesn't even have money for a taxi. Then he gets a message from his office friend saying, "Don't come to my place today. My girlfriend is here." Now Yoon is completely stuck and starts cursing Fong in his mind. But just then, Fong comes outside, grabs his hand, and forcibly takes him back inside. On the other side, Jien, Ming, and Jin are discussing the growing competition with Yue. At that moment, Jien receives a message from his mentor saying that if he wants to save the investment, he must attend the company's 30th anniversary with his girlfriend. Meanwhile, in the apartment, Fong and Yoon are being treated like servants in exchange for staying there. The next day, everyone reaches the office. There, Ming is busy solving a math puzzle given by a fan. Just then, Jia calls Leanne aside. As soon as they leave, Ming tells Fong, tomorrow is Jien's father's company anniversary, and her grandfather has also received an invitation, so she will attend as well. On the other side, Jien takes Leanne to a salon, where she gets a complete makeover. Then he takes her to a mall and shows her dresses. Leanne doesn't like any dress, but Jien chooses one that looks absolutely perfect on her and buys it. Seeing her wearing the dress, Jien's expression softens. While buying shoes, Leanne finally loses her temper. She asks why all this is happening. What is the plan behind the salon, dress, and shoes? Jien calmly explains that today is his mentor's company anniversary, and she has to go with him as his girlfriend. But Leanne refuses. She says that she is not made for such fancy events, and that she doesn't belong there, even if she gets fired from the job. Saying this, she leaves. After that, Jien calls Ming and asks him to come along. He explains that if he goes without Leanne, his father will get angry and the investment will be in danger. Ming questions him, asking why he lied in the first place. Jien says that if the truth comes out, the company could be ruined. At the party venue, Jien's father arrives. His manager asks whether he will really invest in J&D. The father coldly replies that he will invest wherever he sees profit. The decision is still open. At home, Fong asks Leanne why she isn't going to the party. Leanne makes an excuse, hides in her room, and starts drawing. But deep down, she knows that if she doesn't go, the truth will come out. Later, Ming shows the party on a video call. Fong asks whether Jien has come or not. In the camera, the father is visible, but Jien is not. At the party, the father tells his wife that if he doesn't come with his girlfriend, everything will be ruined today. Just then, Jien arrives with Ming. The father taunts him, saying that he came only for the investment. Jien breaks down and says that he has never asked for anything in his life. He built everything on his own. Maybe he shouldn't have come at all. His stepmother tries to stop him, but he coldly says that the day his mother died, his family also ended. Fong sees all this and immediately tells Leanne. Leanne asks Ming for a dress, but Ming smiles and says that Jien left her dress at the reception. Hearing this, Leanne runs. At the party, the atmosphere suddenly changes when Leanne enters wearing that same dress. She goes straight to Jien, holds his hand, and tells his father, "I'm late. I am his girlfriend." All the tension disappears, and the party returns to normal. At night, Leanne asks Jien if his father is always like this. Jien tells her that when he was 10 years old, his mother got divorced, and in the same year, she passed away. Leanne gives him a drink and says that whenever she misses her family, it helps. Then, he drops her home and thanks her, but Leanne keeps thinking about him all night. She types a message, accidentally sends it, and Jien replies that she can join the illustrator team. The next day at the office, Leanne works with full enthusiasm. Jien watches her, smiles, and calls Jing soon. A separate creative corner is set up for her. Leanne is confused, but Jien simply says, "Congratulations." At the reception, Ming comes in crying. Fong asks what happened. Ming bursts into tears and says, "Jing broke my heart. I thought he liked me, but he likes someone else." Just then, Yoon enters with his friend. As soon as Yoon sees Fong, he runs to other side. In another part of the city, an extremely important investment meeting is going on for Jien's company, Legend of the Hero. But the response from the other side is very harsh. "Sorry, we are investing in UA tech. Their technology is stronger, and their market understanding is better." Jien tries to explain that their tech is new and that they have made many hit games, but the investors don't agree. Angry and humiliated, Jien leaves the meeting. Meanwhile, Yoon's friend give him a surprise. They have rented a studio for 9 months. Everything seems to be getting settled when suddenly the landlord barges in angrily, saying, "Who told you that you can stay here?" The friends say that they made the deal through an agent and have documents. The landlord laughs and says they were cheated. The agent is a fraud. He starts picking up their stuff. Yoon stops him and says, "Wait, I don't even know that agent. How did he get our real document?" He asks his friend to call the agent, but the friend tries to avoid it. Just then, Fong, who is watching everything from downstairs, runs up and starts recording with her phone. She says, "If you don't cooperate, I'll send this video to the police." Everyone freezes. Yoon is shocked as to why Fong is helping him. She makes him sit and starts questioning him. "How did the agent get your papers? You're working with him." Fong gets angry and says, "If the rent is 40,000, why would I give 20,000? At this point, Fong catches him and says, "Wait, how do you know? The agent only took 20,000. The truth comes out. Fong says she will call the police. The studio owner gets scared, returns the money, and runs away. While returning home, Yoon says thanks and asks her not to tell Leanne, as she is already very stressed. On the other side, in the office, Jien's father is furious. He says, "I'm canceling the investment. Now my company will invest in debt company." Leanne, standing outside, hears everything. The father continues, saying, "You will never be able to lead this company. You lied at the party. You and that girl are a fake couple." Just then, Leanne storms inside, goes straight to Jien, and kisses him a long, real kiss. Jien's father is stunned and leaves without saying anything. But as soon as he leaves, Jien collapses and faints. Leanne panics, holds him, and cries, "Jien, what happened to you?" Jin, supporting him, mutters that it was his first kiss, and maybe that's why his condition worsened. Seeing his condition getting worse, Jin takes Jien to the hospital. At home, Jien's father throws his coat in anger and says, "I don't care about him anymore. For me, he is dead." His wife breaks down crying and says, "It's all my fault. If I hadn't been there, his mother would be alive. He wouldn't be sick." On the way to the hospital, Jien gets another attack and tells Jin not to take him to the hospital, but to take him home. Jin drops him at home and goes alone to the office. Outside the building, Leanne is standing and waiting. As soon as the car stops, she runs toward it and says, "I'm sorry, Jien." But the window rolls down and Jien is inside. Before apologizing, "At least see who you're talking to." He tells her that Jien is not angry with her, he's just unwell. If she wants to talk to him, she should go and meet him herself, and he gives her Jien's house pass. At night, Jien is sleeping, but he is having nightmares. He remembers his mother's accident. He thrashes around restlessly. Just then, Leanne comes and gently tries to wake him up. He jolts awake, grabs her, and then, frightened, pushes her away. "Don't come near me." Leanne quietly goes to the kitchen and starts cooking. When she comes back, she sees Jien sneaking out of the room. "Why are you leaving so secretly?" He hesitates. I made soup for you. I'm sick." When she opens the fridge, Leanne sees the same drink she had given him earlier. "You kept it." Jien closes the fridge. "It's mine." Finally, he tells the truth. "After my mother died, I developed this illness. If a girl touches me, I get a severe allergy. Once, even my heart stopped. That's why women are not allowed in the office." Leanne falls silent. Then he adds, "But nothing like that happened with you. Maybe you don't have anything feminine." This hurts Leanne, but she forces a smile and goes to get the food. Elsewhere, Yoon returns home exhausted after searching for a studio all over the city. He opens his laptop and looks at listings while eating noodles. Just then, Fong places a box of dumplings in front of him. "I don't want them." She walks away, but Yoon secretly starts eating. Fong comes back from behind, and a light, playful moment happens over the dumpling. They sit together and start searching for a studio. Meanwhile, Leanne brings soup for Jien. Despite not liking the smell, Jien drinks it. Suddenly, the power goes out. Leanne gets irritated. Great. At that very moment, Jien appears with a toolbox. In a tired voice, he says, I can't figure out how to fix this. You do it. At that moment, Fong has already fallen asleep from exhaustion. Yoon quietly goes closer, picks up a blanket, and covers her. He looks at her for a few moments, saying nothing, just a soft, warm feeling. In the other room, Ming is sitting with Jing. Resting her head on the table, she mutters to herself, I really like him. At Jien's house, Leanne is trying to reach the fuse box. Irritated, she mutters, I thought he had changed. But he's still the same cold-hearted president. Why does he behave like this with girl? Just then, Jien comes from behind and lifts her up effortlessly. Can you reach it now? Leanne panics. No, I mean, yes, no. He continues holding her in his arms. The lights come back on. For a few seconds, they just look at each other. Then Jien says, let's end this fake girlfriend contract right here. Leanne says nothing. She quietly goes to her room and starts working on her Illustrator project. Drawing always gives her peace. The next morning, she wakes up late but feels a strange positivity inside. She runs outside and sees not one, but 3 taxis waiting. Everything suddenly seems to go right. While buying donuts, a man comes, hands her a donut, and leaves without taking any money. Leanne is shocked, but she carries on with her day. As soon as she reaches the office, it starts raining outside. Looking through the window, she smiles faintly. Maybe today is my luckiest day. At the reception, she asks whether Jien has come or not. Fong tells her that he is in an important meeting. In the meeting room, Jien is talking about delays. He says that sound production takes time, but the beta testing date for the next part of Legend of the Heroes has been fixed. He especially tells Yoon that the sound team must complete the work this week. The competition with UA and UTech is going to be very tough, so timing is extremely important. The meeting ends. On his way out, Jien stops Yoon and says that he knows he is looking for a studio, but he shouldn't let this issue affect his work. Sometime later, Ming sees on a website that Leanne has secured first rank in the AI mobile game competition. She immediately calls and informs her. Leanne jumps with joy. Everyone in the office starts congratulating her. The news reaches her brother and Jien as well. Soon, many companies start calling her and offer up to $3 million for game rights. Leanne is shocked. Just then, Jien calls. He also talks about buying the project. Leanne clearly says that this is her biggest project and that she wants to talk directly to Jien. When this reaches Jien, he is surprised and sends Jings to handle that matter. Jing meets Leanne and says that JNK wants to acquire her project. Leanne agrees, but with certain conditions. From now on, she will work only in the Illustrator studio, not in Jien's office. She will focus only on this project. The director can be anyone, but she will remain the lead artist, and she will not clean the president's office. Jin conveys these conditions to Jien and reminds him that Leanne had applied only for the Illustrator position from the start. Now that she has won the competition, other companies will not back off. If a decision is not made quickly, they might lose Leanne. Jien, without saying anything, signs the proposal and leaves. Meanwhile, the same man who had given Leanne the donut calls her. He says his name is Hong and that he is a project operations director at a tech company. He has arranged a studio for Yoon. At the studio, the owner says that if Yoon's girlfriend hadn't insisted so much, she would never have rented out the place. She had been searching for a studio for him for many days. Embarrassed, Fong clarifies that she is not his girlfriend. She tells Yoon to call her once everything is finalized and leave. Later, Yoon notices that Fong's foot is injured, perhaps from running around for the studio. He supports her and walks her out. Meanwhile, Hong offers Leanne a project in his company. Leanne asks for time and walks away thinking, if Jien allows her to work peacefully in the Illustrator studio, she will stay in JNK. On the other side, Yoon is applying ointment on Fong's foot. He asks why she kept roaming around in such high heels. Fong brushes it off and says she has to go to the office. Meanwhile, Jien and Jin are going to the office together. Jin again tries to convince him to let Leanne move to the illustration department, but Jien says coldly, I've seen her work. It lacks maturity. She won only because of the increasing competition with UTech and UA. Luck, not skill. The moment these words leave Jien's mouth, Leanne hears everything. Her eyes fill with tears. Standing right there, she questions him. What exactly is lacking in her work? Was her work not even good enough to deserve the win? She clearly says that becoming an illustrator has been her childhood dream, and if she can't live that dream now, she will quit this job altogether. With a broken heart, Leanne goes home. She returns home. All the way, Jien's harsh words keep echoing in her mind. Outside the house, Jien is standing alone with a heavy heart, but he can't bring himself to say anything. After a while, Leanne calls her father and tells him everything. Her father calmly explains that one shouldn't pay too much attention to people's praise or criticism. If she truly loves her work, she should keep moving forward without stopping. Her father's words give Leanne courage, and she throws herself back into her work with renewed passion. Soon after, Gien arrives, and from the very next day, Gien's mood at the office completely changes. He becomes irritable, vents his anger on everyone, and rejects every project proposal. Seeing his behavior, Jing gently starts a conversation. He reminds him that Leanne and Fong are old friends. Because of this, he asks for 3 days' time and promises that within this period he will bring Leanne's project. Meanwhile, Yoon stays busy with his dubbing work. Jin asks him about Leanne, but Yoon avoids the topic. Jin clarifies that he didn't come because of Leanne, but to look for Fong, who is with her band. Yoon tells him that for the next 2 days they won't be available because in the morning Leanne shared an influencer's post, and now the whole group has made a plan to spend time at Mount Spring Hotel. Seizing the opportunity, Leanne reaches the hotel with Fong. Fong reminds Ming that everyone had decided not to use phones during the stay. Even so, Fong secretly calls Leanne and tells her that there will be a performance at the hotel at night. Hearing this, Fong becomes happy and takes out her makeup. Everyone starts getting ready for the performance. In the city, Jin and Yoon keep calling them repeatedly, but no one answers. Finally, Jin makes a video call. Fong casually tells him that they are at Mount Spring Hotel and a big performance is going on, then cuts the call. Enraged, Jin and Yoon themselves reach the hotel and are shocked after seeing the atmosphere there. At the office, Gien calls Jin to the assistant room, but finds out that he has taken leave or is on vacation. At the hotel, Yoon tries to stop everyone from going to the party, but they start drinking in the room itself. As the night progresses, Leanne drinks too much and becomes emotional. Lost in thoughts of Gien, she calls him and shouts that he is a terrible person, that he doesn't care about her at all, and that she hates him. She doesn't realize that Gien is standing right behind her. In a calm voice, he says, "Say whatever you want to my face, I'm right here." Drunk, Leanne collapses onto him. After some time, Leanne and Fong stumble out of the hotel, completely drunk, and start staggering in different directions. Yoon calls Gien. Gien and Jin arrive and start searching for everyone. First, they find Fong, who drunkenly kisses Jin on the cheek. Finally, Gien finds Leanne and sets off to drop her home. On the way, Leanne again shouts at him, saying that he considered her dreams as just luck, while her success came from her hard work. Gien silently listens to everything and then sincerely apologizes. He admits that he should have respected all kinds of work, especially hers. After reaching home, he gently lays Leanne on the bed. Half asleep, Leanne tries to kiss him, but Gien covers her up and quietly leaves. As soon as he sits in the car, he gets a call from the doctor. The doctor says that Gien may have developed feelings for Leanne because his allergy symptoms have never been triggered around her. The next morning, Fong wakes up in panic. She remembers that she kissed Yoon the previous night. Distressed, she tells everything to Ming. Ming explains that there is no logic in love, and once it happens, boundaries in relationships don't matter. She also admits that she wishes something like that had happened between her and Jing. Meanwhile, Leanne wakes up in the morning and finds herself safely in bed. Yeon also wakes up and looks for Fong, but finds only an envelope. The scene shifts and Leanne reaches the office. Her surprise increases when Gien himself takes her to the illustrator department. As soon as she enters, everyone starts clapping and celebrating her competition win. Gien tells her that from today onward, she will work here. Filled with happiness, Leanne throws herself wholeheartedly into her work. After a while, Jing comes to meet Gien regarding work. Gien is smiling to himself. Seeing this, Jin teases him, saying that if he keeps smiling like this while working, they'll have to put his smiling photo on JND's profile. Laughing, Gien says that one should learn to stay humble at work because humility is the key to success. Jing is surprised that suddenly Gien has changed, considering how angry he was just a few days ago. At the office, Yoon asks Fong why she left money for him in the envelope when she herself needed money. He says that if she needed something, she could have asked friends. Yoon clearly states that he can't take that money, especially after that incident, which according to him was just a mistake caused by alcohol. Hearing this deeply hurts Fong. In anger, he throws the envelope on the ground and starts to leave. From a distance, Leanne sees all this and angrily grabs Yoon by the ear. She scolds him for daring to trouble Fong even after she clearly refused. Leanne assumes that Yoon is upset with her because Fong refused to lend him money. Just then, Leanne's mother also arrives and grabs Jien by the ear. Scolding both of them, she says they have become very spoiled and need to be taught a lesson. Without listening to anything, she drags both of them away. Watching all this from afar, Jien tells Jien that their mother seems quite the dominating type. The mother takes them to a quiet place and she gives them a lecture. Meanwhile, one of Leanne's calls gets ignored and Jien's phone also goes out of service. That day, Leanne had a blind date fixed which she was supposed to attend, while Jien had to finish some pending work. Later, Leanne returns to the office with a sad heart and wants to talk to Jien, but at that very moment her mother calls and she leaves. Her mother sits her down and explains that life cannot be spent alone. If something happens to her, who will support Leanne? These words touch Leanne deeply and her eyes fill with tears. Finally, she agrees to go on the blind date. Her mother tells her that the person she is going to meet is her childhood friend. He used to come to the neighbor aunt's house during vacation, and they used to play together. After some time, Yuang arrives for the date, and Leanne is shocked to see him. They sit and start talking about old times. At that moment, Gien passes by in his car and sees them together. Jing sees at the tab, sees that Leanne is on a blind date and informs Gien. Gien asks whether Leanne's project is complete and whether any company has shown interest. He is told that the project is still with them, but many companies are interested. This deal could also affect Leanne and Yuang's relationship. Later, Yuang asks Leanne why she ran away from the Square Hotel date. Leanne explains that she had come, but due to an emergency she couldn't meet him. Yuang says that he knows she met Jien that day, and that's when he recognized him. Both of them get lost in childhood memory. Yuang teases her a little, saying that first she canceled one date and now her mother has fixed another one. On the other hand, thinking about Leanne's blind date, Jien tells himself that it shouldn't matter to him. He had heard that Yuang is her childhood friend and their families are quite close. Marriage could also be discussed. He convinces himself and moves on. The next day, Yuang takes Leanne on a second date, but Jien secretly follows them in his car. At the restaurant they go to, Jien has already reserved all the food in advance. Troubled, they leave from there. Jien then calls Ming and invites all his friends to lunch. He keeps making prior bookings everywhere and ruining their plan. Tired and helpless, Leanne and Yuang decide to leave. Just then, Jien, who was hiding nearby, gets scared by a dog. Yuang teases him and asks, is Great President scared of dogs? Doesn't he know that Leanne loves dogs? Jien coldly says that he doesn't care about his employees' preferences. Yuang jokes that maybe Jien doesn't have the courage to confess his love. Enraged, Jien grabs his collar and warns him to stay away from Leanne. He declares that Leanne is his enemy and no one should get close to her. Returning to the office, Jien gives a strict order that until the release of Legend of the Heroes, no one will take leave and everyone will work overtime. Meanwhile, Yuang offers Leanne that she should leave J&K and join UTech, and that they also want to buy her project. Leanne refuses. She says she has an emotional connection with J&K and the project isn't complete yet. She admits that she has come this far only because of luck. While leaving, Leanne realizes that it was Jien who ruined her blind date. She goes to him and says that he was right, her project still has flaws. She wants to stay in this company and make it better. Jien remains silent. Frustrated, Leanne asks if he has nothing to say at all. Doesn't he know that many companies want to buy her project? Finally, Jien asks if she wants royalty. In anger, Leanne demands a royalty of 1 million. Without thinking, Jien writes her a check and hands it to her, reminding her that he had promised to fulfill all her demands. But Leanne says nothing and runs away. After some time, Jing tells Jien that their game is going to be released at midnight that night and early reviews are very positive. Then he shares a serious matter. An article has appeared on a professional gaming platform in which a part of their source code has been published. He shows the article on the tablet. As Jien reads it, tension becomes clearly visible on his face. He immediately realizes how serious the situation is and tells Jing to call all the programmers. Their source code has been leaked. One by one, all the programmers arrive for an emergency meeting. Outside, Leanne's colleague asks curiously what has suddenly happened, and the entire situation is explained to her. Inside the meeting room, Jien addresses everyone. He clearly says that because of the source code leak, there is a risk of a virus in the game. But despite this, the game release will not be postponed. The game must be launched on time, and only 6 hours are left. There is no option to inform any other company about this breach. After this, Jing instructs Ming to lock all the company doors and keep everyone inside. An atmosphere of urgency spreads. Jien sits with the entire team and starts discussing solutions. Then, hesitantly, an employee suggests an idea. The idea is very difficult, but might work. They would have to change all the game's characters and scenes within 6 hours. At that moment, Leanne steps forward and says that she can help. She is fully confident that she can redesign the characters and scenes. Jien is doubtful. Redrawing 40 images in such a short time isn't easy. But Leanne doesn't back down. She firmly says that she can do it. Everyone immediately gets to work without wasting time. Everyone works with full strength. Meanwhile, Jien's father is also silently watching everything and praying in his heart for his son's success. Before the workday ends, Leanne completes her entire part. At the scheduled time, the legend of the hero is successfully launched. Within just 21 minutes of launch, the game becomes fully playable and downloads start increasing much faster than expected. The entire company bursts into celebration. After some time, Gien goes to the illustrator room and sees that Leanne has fallen asleep due to exhaustion. He quietly sits beside her. Leanne stirs and is about to fall, but Gien gently catches her, waking her up. After a while, Leanne jokingly asks why he always drinks with everyone and why he doesn't drink black coffee, like she does to work all night. Smiling, Gien says that he knows Leanne depends on black coffee, but today she should try something soft. He gives her milk and says she should rest a little. Leanne starts drinking the milk. A little milk sticks to her lips. As she is about to wipe it, Gien stops her hand. He slowly leans forward and kisses her, and with this, the drama ends.